So picture this. You're on your last legs, standing against the toughest of the tough. You've taken so much damage that only a pixel of health is what stands between success and that dreaded game over screen. And right before that final punch connects, boom! You power up into your ultimate form and proceed to lay a huge smackdown on the bastard that seconds ago was handing your ass on a silver platter. Or, in another scenario, you're kicking the shit out of the baddies, and as they keep getting frustrated, you keep wanting to make them feel more outclassed, and then, right when they think things can't get any worse, you pull out the big moves to show a good time to them, and after that, just utterly annihilate them into the next year while looking like you give as little of a shit as possible. Welcome back, my Critic comrades. It's been quite hectic and a fun time in this channel lately, and for now, I think it's time that we start talking about some stuff in a more discussion-esque manner, and that's going to involve the concept of transformations in action games. As you all know by now, out of all the genres I love most, action games are my personal favorites in any series, since I'm a daredevil for kicking ass out of the bad guys. Something I've noticed about action games is the idea of transformations playing a huge role in combat systems. Quick boosts of power that amplify a player's power and give them more powers to unleash to give a beatdown to the baddies. But what really is what makes transformations so cool in action games? Is it the idea of changing your appearance to reflect a more badass look? Or is it the idea of amplifying your power to astronomical heights? I guess in more ways than one, this can be both of these things, but what is it that makes transformations fun? Well, let's break it down to a few categories. Obviously, in order to make a transformation stand out, they have to have a cool appearance. Dante from Devil May Cry, for example, transforms himself into a full-fledged demon in this form, thus allowing a feeling that you're using your own skills to your fullest potential. In Kingdom Hearts 2, Sora also has the ability to use dry forms that also change the color of his clothes. Fittingly, for each color scheme that Sora has, it pretty much gives a different perspective on what kind of power he's using at the time. But obviously, looks can't be everything, right? Feeling also plays a big part in how powerful a player should feel when they use their hidden power, whilst still making it to have a satisfying punch to it to give off an impression that you have the power to pulverize your opponents. Sora's KH2 drive forms in particular are very good at giving off this feeling that your powers have been amplified to a whole nother level. Sora's master forms and final forms are great at giving this impression with his melee combos and his magic. For example, Thunder in Sora's master form gives him the power to dance around his enemies while utterly pummeling them with lightning mid-combo, so it gives the player a chance to ascend to their own combos into truly stylish attacks. Final form basically makes the players almost godlike in abilities, with so many touches to Sora, such as having combos that allow him to telekinetically wield Keyblades, Fire Tornado, breakdancing, Ice Blasts, and it's not too hard to see why KH2 is at the top of its game when it comes to making transformations feel powerful.
Whoa!
But now comes the big point, Crush. Something to keep in mind is that there's a good and a bad way to handle forms. On one hand, forms that function as a crush for the player but don't develop into a power where you feel like unleashing your potential and instead stay as a crush for the whole game is easily the worst way to handle it. I don't want to turn this into another KH3 hate video, but to make things short, Form Train's transformations, particularly second form, was basically the only way for Sora's attacks to truly be effective and fun to use. KH2 Sora at first needs his drive forms to have a good combo in the early parts of the game, basically functioning as a crutch, but as the game goes on, Sora's power grows to the point where he can handle his enemies without overly relying on his drives, but still being able to use them when the going gets tough, and to also give him, along with his base form, more movement options to use, thus adding a reason to experiment with each form. Transformations in DMC5 were also great for how they changed the play of the game, with Dante's normal DT being perfect for when you need to have a boost in power and some regenerating health, but Sin Devil Trigger is great for usage for just utterly destroying your enemies with power. It essentially adds strategy to either increase Dante's evasive abilities and offensive capabilities with his normal DT transformations, or to utterly amplify his power to astronomical levels with his Sin DT forms. On a personal level, DT also added so much more personality to these fights, as it either allowed you to feel like Dante is barely putting effort into these fights for the hell of it, or for just going in guns a-blazing and making it feel like he's too bored to care about holding back and having fun. For future action game developers, take a good look at these two games, because both of these games are easily the best way to handle these types of newfound powers that can really put the player into a dilemma of strategy when handling certain enemies that aren't going to take your shit lying down. Anyway, I hope this vid I've given you an interesting perspective on action games in general, and perhaps maybe given you a bit of intrigue into these two action games. I'm particularly hoping that you give them a shot at some point, so I'm the Killer Critic, and it's time to sign off. See you later. Like, subscribe, and comment, and share, retweet this video. Really helps my channel out. And I'll see you later.